Hello, sports fans, and welcome to the Scott Sports 101 Monday Night Football Week 12 update show. It's an AFC showdown between the Chargers and Ravens, a battle of the Harbaughs. We'll get to it all. We'll tell you what I think is going to happen, what I do think it happens, and where we is going to happen, and where we stand right now. But first, here is today's Scott Sports 101 Monday Night Football Week 12 trivia question, and it is a Chargers trivia question. Which Charger was the first NFL player with 30 sacks and 30 interceptions? I'll have the answer later on the podcast. It's Monday Night Football Week 12. We have a great AFC showdown, as I mentioned, for you tonight. The Baltimore Ravens and the Los Angeles Chargers are battling it out at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. It's a battle of the Harbaughs. Jim Harbaugh versus his brother John Harbaugh. The Harbaugh brothers are both highly rated coaches in the NFL right now. The Ravens are 7-4. Chargers are 7-3. The Ravens are coming off an 18-16 loss at the hands of the Pittsburgh Steelers last week and are in second place behind the Steelers in the AFC North. And the Chargers are coming off a 30-27 win over the Cincinnati Bengals last week on Sunday Night Football, and they are I think they are in second in the AFC West, I believe. Check me if I'm wrong. Uh, and but the Chargers are really hoping to win this one tonight, and I've got Baltimore for this one. My brother-in-law has the Chargers. We're both tied at 8-4, so it comes down to this game tonight. And and the Philadelphia and we'll get back to more of this. I'm going to have to call it a Sunday Night Football postgame show, Monday Night Football update show. I forgot that the Philadelphia Eagles beat the LA Rams 37-20 on Sunday Night Football last night. So I'm going to recap that one for you first, and then we'll get back to the Monday night one in just a moment. Let's see here. When Saquon Barkley glanced up at SoFi Stadium, at a SoFi Stadium replay, excuse me, of his latest huge run for the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday night, he happened to see a graphic indicating he had 173 yards rushing, only 16 shy of what he knew to be his career high. I said, "Oh, I wish I never saw that," Barkley said with a grin. That's just the devil talking. That's how I look at it. I'm a big believer that if it happens, it happens. Just let it come to you. Barkley decided to continue his run for his teammates, not for records. A few carries later, both his personal best and several additional superlatives fell right to him with a second massive touchdown run on a historic night. Barkley ran for scores of 70 and 72 yards in the second half, and he finished with an Eagles record 255 yards rushing in Philadelphia's seventh consecutive victory, 37-20 over the Los Angeles Rams last night. Barkley racked up the ninth most yards rushing in a game in NFL history, largely thanks to his huge TD run, booking in the second half. He sprinted for a 70-yard score on the opening snap of the third quarter, and he added another huge run up the middle with 2:44 to play. Saquon has that ability to hit home runs, and so sometimes that's how it goes, Eagles coach Nick Sirianni said. You get some short gain, boom, home run. Saquon is that type of player, and our offensive line, did a good job handling the variations of the front. Barkley had 302 total yards, becoming the 12th player in NFL history to top 300, and the first Eagles player, while also becoming the first NFL player with 270-yard TD runs in a game since Maurice Jones-Drew in 2009. Barkley leads the league with a career best 1,392 yards rushing, including a league best 7,100-yard rushing games in a seismic first season with Philadelphia after 6 frustrating years with the Giants. To be honest, I'm not surprised, said Barkley, a two-time Pro Bowl selection. I don't know. I don't know. I would have this. I didn't know I would have this much success. Excuse me, but I'm thankful to be here. I'm thankful for the fresh start. A big reason why I wanted to come here is I felt like this is a spot where I could rewrite my story and everyone, the type of player, and show everyone, excuse me, the type of player that I feel like I can be and was meant to be, and it's working out right now. While averaging 9.8 yards per carry, Barkley obliterated the Eagles franchise records of 217 yards rushing by LaShawn McCoy and in 2013, 296 yards by Deuce Staley in 2000. And he also had the biggest rushing performance ever against the Rams, exceeding DeMarco Murray's 253 yards for Dallas in 2011. A.J. Brown caught 6 passes for 109 yards and a TD from Jalen Hurts, who threw for 179 yards. While the NFC East leading Philadelphia Eagles are now 9-2, surged to a 24-point second half. In a 24-point second half, excuse me. Kyren Williams rushed for a score, and Demarcus Robinson caught a TD pass for the Rams, who are now 5-6, who lost their second straight home game. Stafford passed for 243 yards while getting sacked 5 times by Philadelphia's top-ranked defense, and Los Angeles couldn't keep up with a Super Bowl contender in the second half of only its second loss in 6 games. Puka Nakua had 9 catches for 117 yards, and Cooper Kupp caught a 27-yard touchdown pass with 1:07 to play. The Los Angeles defense gave up 480 yards, undoing several weeks of progress for a unit that also looked overmatched early in the season. Barkley is getting tough, hard-earned yards, and then you give him a vertical seam like he got a couple of times. McVay said he has the explosiveness and long speed and the ability to finish. That is what opened and blew the game up for him. He was outstanding. The Eagles improved to 4-0 against the Rams in the Los Angeles area since the franchise returned home, but they led just 13-7 at halftime despite dominating both sides of the ball in the second quarter. Barkley had a mere 73 yards rushing in the first half for Philly, but he broke open the game and the Rams defense with his deft run up the middle to start the third quarter. He makes a cut that I didn't think anybody else could make, Sirianni said, like he just stopped on a dime. Los Angeles answered with Robinson's short TD catch, but Kenneth Gainwell rushed for a 13-yard TD moments later. One play after Barkley's 31-yard catch and run on third and long. In the final minutes, Barkley found another gapping hole in the middle of Los Angeles defense. One of our guys out of the gap backside, Rams nose tackle, Kobe Turner said, once you give that guy space to run, now he's up and up on the second level. He can make guys miss and has the speed to break away. Now, for the Eagles, our quarterback, Darius Slay, had a concussion left in the second half. Wide receiver Devonta Smith has a hamstring injury, sat out for only the third time in his 4-year career. Afterward, 15-year veteran defensive end Brandon Graham said he's out for the season with torn triceps. Rams starting right tackle Rob Haverstein has an ankle injury. He missed his third straight game, and backup Warren McClendon struggled in pass protection. Well, the Rams will have to regroup as they play New Orleans next Sunday, and this coming Sunday, which the next Sunday is this Sunday, and the Eagles will be in Baltimore to take on the Ravens. They will take on this coming Sunday. So right now, I have to give the game balls, to the LA Chargers. The Philadelphia Eagles. Excuse me, not the Rams, but the Eagles. Jalen Hurts, 15 of 22, carries and attempts, 179 yards, 1 touchdown. Saquon Barkley, 26 attempts, 255 yards, 2 touchdowns. And A.J. Brown, 6 receptions, 109 yards, 1 TD. So I tip my hat to the Eagles, 9-2, and the Rams, they fall to 5-6. Now we will get back to the Monday night game in just a moment. But right now, it's time to reveal the answer to today's Scott Sports 101 Monday Night Football Week 12 trivia question. Which Charger was the first NFL player with 30 sacks and 30 interceptions? If you said Rodney Harrison, you are correct. On October 21st, 2007, Harrison became the initial member of the 30-30 club of players with both 30 interceptions and 30 sacks. He was later joined by Baltimore Ravens linebacker Ray Lewis. I will have another trivia question on my next podcast, which will be on Thanksgiving Day for Scott Sports 101, the Thanksgiving Day edition, which we're going to have 3 games that day. We're going to have we're going to have 3 football games that day with it being a holiday. So, and right now it's 14-13, Baltimore up by 1 at halftime. And it's been a hit, really not a high scoring first half, very low scoring first half. But I want to read you the preview for the Ravens game. Most of the attention surrounding Monday night showdown between the Baltimore Ravens and the Los Angeles Chargers has been centered on the first coaching matchup since 2012 between John and Jim Harbaugh. Once this game kicks off, all the focus will be on the quarterbacks, Lamar Jackson and Justin Herbert. To be honest, I don't think about it. Jackson said of the hype around the Harbaugh Bowl. I can't speak for everyone else. I remember watching them not literally play against each other, but coaching against each other for the Super Bowl game. I remember watching that. I thought that was dope, but I don't think about it right now. Jackson directs a Ravens offense that's averaging a league-leading 430.1 yards per game. The 7th-year signal caller also leads the NFL with 117.3 passer rating, with the 117.3 passer rating, and is second with 25 touchdown passes. Herbert was hampered by a foot and ankle injuries in the first quarter of the season, which also steepened the learning curve with a new offense. Since their bye in Week 5, though, the Chargers' offense has been more consistent, averaging 368.2 yards, 8th best in the NF in the league over the past 6 games. But both quarterbacks excelled when playing on Monday Night Football. Have excelled when playing on Monday Night Football. Jackson is 6-2 with a 124.0 passer rating and 20 touchdowns, no interceptions. Herbert is 4-3 with 9 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Coach Harbaugh has done a great job, and we enjoy playing for him so much, Herbert said. We know how important it is for him. It is another very important game for us, but also understand it is a special moment for him. Jackson's strength this season has been on intermediate passes. He is completing an NFL best 69.1% of his passes that are 10 and 19 yards in the air for 965 yards with 11 touchdowns and only 1 interception. And Herbert and the Chargers penchant for wanting to burn the opposing defenses with deep balls has been rediscovered under Harbaugh and offensive coordinator Greg Roman. Herbert has 7 touchdowns and no interceptions on passes of at least 20 air yards. He'll be facing a Ravens defense that has allowed the second most yards and tied for the most touchdowns, 7 giving up on deep passes. That's a good reason why there is a lot of hype surrounding this matchup. It is important, and it's an important game for both teams to solidify their chances of getting to the playoffs. Los Angeles Chargers are 7-3, have won 4 straight, and holds the fifth seed in the AFC. The Baltimore Ravens are 7-4, holds the sixth seed, and can't afford to go 2 losses down to the Chargers if they can't catch Pittsburgh for the AFC North title. This is the third matchup between the Harbaugh brothers. The previous 2 were when Jim was coaching the San Francisco 49ers, and John has won both meetings 16-6 in Baltimore on Thanksgiving Day, 2011 and 34-31 in Super Bowl 47 in New Orleans to end the 2012 season. Monday night's game is occurring on their parents' 63rd wedding anniversary. Jack and Jackie Harbaugh will not be at the game and are spending Thanksgiving week in Florida. The quarterbacks aren't the only intriguing matchup. Both teams also possess strong run games. Baltimore's Derrick Henry leads the league with 1,185 yards in rushing and 15 touchdowns, 13 rushing, 2 receiving. He's also the 4th player in the Super Bowl era since 1966 with a touchdown in each of his first 11 games in the season. Henry replaced the 2 backs in Los Angeles backfield, J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards. Dobbins in his 3rd AFC, with 726 yards, and his 4.8 yards per carry is 2nd in the conference among those with at least 100 carries. Henry leads with a 6.0 yard average. Edwards missed 4 games with ankle injury, but he's averaging 5.1 yards on 16 carries, and in the 2 games since his return. Monday's matchup features the top 3 players in the AFC in running plays of at least 20 yards. Jackson has 24, followed by Henry, 23, and Dobbins, 22. The connections in this matchup run deeper than the Harbaughs. Chargers general manager Joe Orts spent 26 seasons in the Ravens front office. Offensive coordinator Greg Roman and defensive coordinator Jesse Minter are 2 of the assistants who spent time on John Harbaugh's Baltimore staff. 6 players, including Dobbins and Edwards, are also former Ravens. Linebacker Kyle Van Noy was with the Chargers during the 2022 season, while backup quarterback Josh Johnson was when they were the San Diego Chargers. And outside linebacker David Ojabo, who played for Michigan in college for Jim Harbaugh. And Ravens running backs coach Willie Taggart was on Harbaugh's staff at Stanford, but also played for Patriarch Jack Harbaugh at Western Kentucky. Secondary coach Doug Mallory played with Jim Harbaugh at Michigan and also with a defensive analyst on his staff. Los Angeles tied for fifth in the league with 34 sacks on the season, has 21 in its last 4 games. Linebacker Politu has led the way with 7 sacks in that span, while linebacker Bud Dupree and defensive lineman Puna Ford have 3 apiece. Baltimore is tied for third with 35 sacks and has recorded at least 2 sacks in 14 straight games. The league's longest active streak. Vannoy leads the team with 7. Baltimore, Tupulido, 2, and Vannoy are the only players in the NFL this season to have 3 straight games with multiple sacks. One player the Ravens could not count on pretty much unconditionally through the years has been kicker Justin Tucker, but he missed twice last weekend against Pittsburgh, raising his season total of failed field goal attempts to 6. If you just take the 10,000-foot view and you look at where all the kicks have gone, they've gone just wide left, Tucker said. The adjustment is pretty clear. I need to make it a point not to let the ball carry to the left. So that's something we're going to have to continue to work on in practice. And that's what the preview was. And it's still 14-13, third quarter, just getting underway, 15 minutes to go. I'm going to get into, and I'm going to let you know where we stand. I'm going to go over the first 2 quarters. First quarter, the Chargers scored their first touchdown right off the bat. It was the second goal of the Baltimore 5. Justin Herbert scrambles up the middle for the 5-yard touchdown. Vickers' extra point is good, and it was 7-0 Chargers. The Ravens have the punt after going 3 and out, 5 plays, no yards. And the Chargers have the punt after going 3 and out. It was 6 plays, 13 yards. Then the Ravens had the punt after going 3 and out, 3 plays, 5 yards. And then the Chargers they wanted to score a touchdown, but got in the field goal range. 4th and 7 at the Baltimore 24. Dicker's 42-yard field goal attempt is good. 10-0. 10-0 Chargers at the end of the first quarter. The Ravens got on the board the second half, their first touchdown of the game in the second quarter. 1st and 10 at the Chargers 10. Lamar Jackson right end for the 10-yard touchdown. Justin Tucker's extra point is good, and it was 10-7 Ravens. The Chargers have the punt after going 3 and out. 5 plays, 18 yards. And then the Ravens score their second touchdown of the game. 1st and 10 at the Chargers 40. Lamar Jackson pass deep left to Bateman for the 40-yard touchdown. Justin Tucker's extra point is good. And it was 14-10 Ravens. The Chargers tried to score a touchdown before halftime, but they got in the field goal range, had to set up for a field goal. 1st and 10 at the Baltimore 34. Vickers' 52-yard field goal is good. And it was 14-13 Ravens at halftime. And right now, it was the 1st and 10 at the Baltimore 42. Derrick Henry left guard to the Baltimore 45 for the 3-yard touchdown. And that's where this game stands right now. Third quarter, 13:03 to go. 2nd and 7 at the Baltimore 45. And the Ravens have the ball. And this is going to come down to the wire between these 2 teams and the Harbaugh brothers. But I do think it's going to be Baltimore come away with the victory. So we'll see as we wrap up Week 12. Well, that's just about going to wrap it up for the Scott Sports 101 Monday night, Sunday night football postgame show, Monday night football update show. And I'll be back with the Scott Sports 101 Monday night football Post-game show once the game between the Ravens and Chargers had concluded. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day in every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1. I'm done.